Welcome to this week's video. I decided to share something different with you this week, and what I'm sharing with you is a live dream oracle reading, so you kind of get an idea of how I work as a dream oracle, what a reading is like, and you also get to be a fly on the wall and hear somebody else's dream oracle reading. The guest that I have on today is Azure Wolfe. She is a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I'm so excited for you to get to know her. So before I recorded my session with her, which I will share with you in a moment, she provided me with a couple questions. I then went into the dream world, connected with Spirit, asked Spirit and the universe her questions while I was asleep, received the answers, and so what I'm sharing with you is the first time I'm sharing the answers with her. So stay tuned for that. Well, welcome, Azure. I'm so happy to have you here as my first ever guest on my YouTube channel. It's a
I
real
feel
honor.
pretty honored. Equally.
Yeah, I don't even have a name for this yet. I think I might call it Ask the Oracle or something like that. So you're on the first ever episode of Ask the Oracle or Ask the Dream
Very
Oracle.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so Azure, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Azure Wolfe, and I am kind of a light being who, at the age of 41, decided to become a yoga teacher, and naturally started navigating into different aspects of healing because I've been a type 1 diabetic for 40 years and noticed the impact of energy work and yoga on myself. And lo and behold, as I started going into this realm, it brought people into my life like Holly, who has been guiding me on this path of my purpose. And so here I am today. And I'm just kind of rolling with it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today is Azure has shared with me a couple of questions that she would like answers to. So this is kind of like a live dream oracle reading, minus the part where I go to sleep. I've already done that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you asked me two questions. The first one was, how do I best navigate or unblock my resistance to or my energy around becoming independently wealthy? And then the other question was, how do I best unblock my energy of thinking I'm not smart enough to write a book when I know that I'm meant to? And so,
Right when you're saying this, I'm feeling into that, and I can feel still my resistance, and I'm so happy I'm here. So let's do this.
yeah. So, tell me why did you agree to do this with me?
So when I started to become a yoga teacher and this kind of thing, I realized that I was doing everything on my own, and I had all this energy and all this light in me, and I thought that doing it on my own meant I was strong and that I was capable. But in delving into work or being around people who are dealing or open to alternative um, assistance, uh, it was a way for me to better see where I was headed and also feel held on my path, because I think we go into doubt a lot. I think we can feel energy into things like, oh, I want to be independently wealthy. I want to write a book. I want to be an energy worker. I want to do these things. And then we start to question ourselves. So just surround ourselves with people who can kind of not push us, but clear out the smoke and everything in our mind and kind of lead us, hold us on our path. I started being open to that, and from that point, in the past even 6 months, it's like a fast-moving train. And even the faster the moving train, I feel like the more you should surround yourself, or it's helpful to surround yourself with people who are consistently going to be there for you, encouraging you as you go into your doubt mind. So like having this reading with you is just another way for me to go, okay, yes, it's just my fear getting in the way. It's just me stopping myself, and it's just a little more guidance along the path, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love what you say about, surrounding yourself with these people too. And it's also like as your journey progresses, different people enter your lives at different times, and it's always perfect timing and meaning behind all these connections. I know since we've connected, I've just loved our interactions. I've loved just the light that you share all the time. It's so great. So I knew as soon as I saw your stuff, I was like, I need to connect with Azure and have her on here. So the feeling is
Thank you.
mutual. Yeah.
Yes, Merv.
So, with regards to these questions, the two questions, I'll share them again. How do I best navigate or unblock my resistance to or my energy around becoming independently wealthy? And then your second question of how do I best unblock my energy of thinking I'm not smart enough to write a book when I know I'm meant to? How have those presented challenges or blocks in your life up to this point?
Okay, so on the money forefront, because I'm not pressed for wealth, like I'm taking care of, I guess you would say, or it's not like I need to navigate those waters, but it's something that I want to do for myself for many different reasons. As far as the not thinking I'm smart enough and want to write a book, I think because I went to 2 semesters of college, literally dropped my books on the table and started traveling because I knew that was my way to gain knowledge in the world. It wasn't in a schoolroom. And hearing people needing certificates and this and that to delve into their purpose, people need that. They want your credentials and all. So in this day and age, you start going, well, what paperwork can I hand over to people? So I've been saying to myself, well, am I ready? Do I know enough? Am I smart enough and all this to write a book, to do my energy work, to do all of that? But there's something deep in me that knows that I'm already ready. But it keeps coming up for me, and I'm not sure why. Is that
Hmm.
what you're asking me? Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I just lost my train of thought for 2 seconds. Because I'm already starting to like think about the answers that I received, and just listening to you talk now. Now, when I focused into going into the dream world, the question that I focused on primarily was your second question, actually, which was how do I best unblock my energy of thinking I'm not smart enough to write a book? For some reason, that one really popped out and jumped out as to where I needed to dive first.
Okay, that hit me
And
right, like,
yeah, okay. I just got like chills.
yeah.
So I feel like we are on the right track. So let's dive into what I uncovered because it was interesting your wording of smart enough. Because in my dream, it wasn't like, yes, it was smart enough, but it was also a different angle. So I'll dive into that and I'll explain exactly what I mean in a moment. But I will explain to you the dream I had first when it all became very clear as to what or the blocks are for you. So in my dream, there was actually two parts to the dream. The dream showed me two parts. The first part of the dream, it was so funny because when I do these messages, I lucid dream. And so I'm conscious in my dream and I'm aware. And I was trying to get your dream oracle and I was like, I can't get Azure's message. And so I like called in my spiritual teacher into the dream world and I was talking to her and I was like, I can't get Azure's message. I don't know, like maybe I'm a broken dream oracle. I can't seem to like figure this out. How am I going to sort this out? And it was just like, just trust and all this stuff. And I was like feeling this fear myself around like my ability to do this for you. And so that was the first part of my dream. And then it shifted and I was in this boardroom with colleagues. It was like I went into this other vision in my dream and I was in this boardroom with colleagues and it felt like a corporate boardroom. It felt like they were like lawyers in a sense. And my teacher was also sitting in there. And there was a woman who had left, and I had followed her out. And I just had like a little chat with her. And then she was going to go down these stairs and open this door. And I had this intuition. I was like, don't open that door. Don't open that door. Somebody's trying to get in and we don't want them to come in. And, anyways, she opened the door. She didn't listen to me. She opened the door. And this other woman who was my friend and colleague came in and she presented me with a letter. And this letter was a cease and desist order. And the letter said, like, don't do what you're doing anymore. You have no right to do what you're doing anymore. You are not qualified. What you're doing is a joke. And in my dream, I felt so discouraged and so like betrayed and just all this doubt, and I felt shunned. That was a big word, actually, shunned and outcast. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And there was reasons on this letter, this cease and desist order, and they weren't good reasons, but in their mind they were like good reasons. It was like I can't remember exactly what the reasons were, but one of the reasons was you're helping too many people, you're reaching and touching too many people's lives, and you're helping too many people, you need to stop. And it was just like, this doesn't make any sense. And all of the four reasons were like that. And I went back into the boardroom to where my colleagues and my friends were, my work friends, and they wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't talk to me. And they only said, we don't like what you're doing and you need to stop what you're doing. And I just like, I said to them, I was like, okay, like, that's okay. You don't need to like what I'm doing. You don't need to accept me. I love you guys. I bless you. And I wish the best for you anyways. And I'm going to go. And then I woke up and I was like, oh my God. So it made so much sense, in the sense of, yes, there's a component for you where you don't feel smart enough, like you just shared. You don't feel that maybe you're qualified. But there's a greater component, and this is the underlying block, which is the fear of being shunned, and fear of what other people, how other people will react to you.
100%. Yes, my body reacted a lot while you were talking, and it's funny, even with as fearless and whatever as I am, even in these little nuggets of even posting on Instagram and verbalizing and being vulnerable, I'm not really sharing my whole truth because of the fear of being shunned and all of that. And I know what the funny thing is I know that I'm going to be shunned and I'm going to be misunderstood because there's people who aren't ready for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to prepare myself to know that that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does that resonate? Feel real as part of it?
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting, even for myself. Like, I felt like I learned a lot from doing this dream oracle for you as well. Just like the first part of my dream.
I felt that when you were talking about it.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
it for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So I'm like, I'm right there with you, sister. I totally know how you feel.
Like, that's where probably feel like that's where we came into the realm at the same time as each other. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. So that was really interesting. Another thing that, okay, let me just take a look at my notes here to make sure I've wrapped up this part of it, because there was another dream that I'll talk about as well. But like fear of being a fraud, fear of not being qualified, scared of helping people and not being qualified. Then there's like the shunned and the outcast piece, which we talked about. Mm-hmm. There's a need to deepen the self-confidence on this path, shed self-doubt. And you already said it, you can't win everybody's approval, but you have to do it anyway. You have to believe in yourself. I did get another message where, and I know you know this, but the timing for you is perfect. So these things these blocks that you are working through and shifting through will shift in perfect timing, because the book that you want to write, not all the readers have formed yet. I did have this other dream where it was like the readers are coming. They're coming. So like I just got goosebumps again. So don't stress about the timing or the path in that sense. So take the time that you need to move through these blocks, because as you do, it's like the space fills up. Like it was literally like I could see like these energy beings like coming in. So they're coming, and when the book is when you're done your book, they will be there and it'll be received well and it will be successful.
Okay, I believe that. I totally believe that. Yes. Well, I had so many things come up while you were talking about that, and I've lost my train of thought again. But yeah, everything you've said so far has been very much so true. I'm a body reactor. Like I feel my body is, when I started asking my body instead of asking my mind what was going on, everything became more clear. So as far as like moving into energy work and light work with people, I no longer am thinking to myself what's happening. It's like my third eye and my body is just like, this is happening. And it takes me out of my cheetah, my monkey brain. Um, so, you know, when you have said things to me, my body is the first thing that goes, this is a yes or a no. And it's been very on point. Now, it's again, it's like another connection with you that's like, my body's just like, that's a yes. Probably because we're on this plane of shifting, changing, and moving into this space of knowing and unknowing, because we know that this is in us, and it's like, but we go into doubt as humans, as beings in our mind, brain on here on Earth. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, and then I said that I had another little dream, which it was so cute. So you were represented by this being that had superpowers, and it was funny because you could like fly around and move through it was sort of like a futuristic world. But as you moved through, there was all these emojis and like hearts and happy faces that were like popping up all around you, and it's just like it's so perfect because it how do I explain it? Because when I do these dream oracle messages, I get all this information downloaded into me in like a second, and it's like everything all at once. So I get like feelings and sensations and visions and thoughts all at the same time. And it was like the people love you, your audience loves you, and you have this big audience. And even the first dream that I shared with you, you know, you were helping too many people. It's the same thing. And in this dream as well, there was those people who didn't like what you were doing, but you were doing it anyway. And that's the big thing is you got to keep doing it. You have to do it anyway. You can't keep everybody happy, but there's this. It's like you have like this superpower that like it charges you as you help more people. It like feeds you and it lifts you up, and you help more people and more people, and it's like pushing you and propelling you.
And that's one of the things I'm like, I actually have said I'm almost afraid of it, because the more people I help, and even the people who don't want my help that I just send love to, the more it charges me up. And I'm just like, I'm almost afraid of my bigness, because I'm just like, what is happening to me? The more I move in that path, it's like I'm overwhelmed with the energy. So, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm learning how to navigate those waters and channel it, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to share about how these messages have resonated with you or how you're feeling right now?
Um, so I feel lit up, and I think that's part of allowing someone else to verbalize things that are maybe in the undersheath of your body, like your best self and your light or your truth, that maybe under a layer of this space world that's like, no, you can't go there, you can't do that. So I feel very lit up and energized, like I want to go dance. um, After doing this, I always want to write things down because I think a lot of things come up when you're in that fresh space that you've been lit up in. It felt all true and enhanced to. It feels true and enhanced in that it was clearer messages from universe, from dream, from whatever, because as I keep asking these questions or keep saying to myself, am I enough? Am I ready? Blah, blah, blah. Universe sends me a sign, or they send me a person like you that is like, so this is just another thing or another guide or another lesson to let you know you're on the right path. So what I would say is it's been invaluable to have people like you in my realm. And for anyone who is in doubt, it's not that you're not meant to do what you're doing. It's just having that holding hand feeling. It's been great. So I get lost sometimes talking about this because I'm like, I'm a double Aquarius with a Scorpio rising, so I'm like floating around, and then I'm like, let's do this. So thank you for giving me the space to talk about it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. I know it's important, and I want to hear just how it's resonating with you as well. That's important to me too. So with regards to your first question, do you see how these actually answer your first question as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Like it almost is like that question isn't even there because it just is. It's a double question. It's just the same question. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I totally yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
so
the value
interesting.
that's within the book. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah. Wow.
So, like I said, one thing that is really, really important to me when I do these readings for people is that they walk away with actions and a plan on how to move beyond these limitations or blocks and are empowered. And so I was given an action for you, and I was also told to ask you because you're highly intuitive and you know what you need to do. And so now that you are more fully conscious of exactly where these blocks are, what do you feel is the action or actions or plan that you need to take to start overcoming these blocks?
The first thing that came to me as you were even talking before you were done with the question was boundaries and quiet space, because I get so tapped into people that I have too many words and things coming to me. So honoring that space, because once I start writing things down, it makes me feel, smart's not the right word, it makes me feel like I'm being true to what I'm meant to write and what to give to others. But if I'm too immersed in everyone else's body and thoughts, everything gets scattered. So that's the first thing that came to me: the boundaries and the space, honoring that in many ways. My writing, I've been writing more and meditating, those kind of things. It's invaluable. So that for me is huge.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Yeah. So
Do you want more?
no, no. It just sounds like it's important for you to make sure that you've got that like in your schedule, in your weekly plan or whatever, to make sure that you're connected in with that to shift through all of this.
Yes. Yep.
One of the actions that I intuitively felt for you was, and I don't even know what your book is about actually. So you have to tell me that in a moment and tell everybody watching in a moment. But one of the actions was that find the proof that your help right now that you've already been helping people with is valuable. So looking through and seeing like the comments, seeing the messages, what people, yeah, that hit you.
I, I almost started crying.
Yeah, no, that's just it. Is like when that monkey mind chatter comes up, that self-doubt, go into your messages and see the messages that people send you. Maybe even start like a collection of them for yourself. So like screenshot them or something, right? And start an album. So you just go to that and you can just see like, yes, no, this story that my mind is telling me isn't true because I have all this physical proof right here. supporting that I'm helping and what I'm doing is valuable and uplifting and needed and wanted in the world.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, no, I know. It's great.
It's because I'm one of those really, like, I know I'm strong and I'm all these things, but I can only imagine, like, me feeling and being this strong and positive and whatever. If I'm having doubt, there are others that really need to feel held, and I want to hold space for so many people. And that goes also in line with the actions I need to take for myself to be able to write my book and to be able to hold more space for people. Mm-hmm. Because if I don't recharge, I don't have, or I drain. And my biggest thing is just wanting to be able to just make people feel held so much. They have a little extra support on their path and journey.
Good. I think that'll help a lot for you to shift out those beliefs.
Mm-hmm. 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 Gosh.
Oh. Do Care Bears mean anything to you?
Care Bears?
Yeah.
They're from my past. I think they were at the time I was a little girl and sick. That's what I think. Does that?
Yeah, it was really odd. I had this one vision in a dream where there was like a green Care Bear.
That is so interesting. There's something in me that was like, Care Bear. And I used to say something that had to do with Care Bears, and I don't remember it. I got to feel into that more.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah, it was really, really odd. I was like, do I even bring this up? Because it's like really out there and like I have no idea. It was literally like I saw this green Care Bear and I was like, I know I just need to make a note of this, but I have no idea what this is telling me, so I had to tell you.
Did you say a dream Care Bear or
a green one?
Care Bear?
Green, as in color green.
So I know I used to say something about Care Bears, but I always talk about the color green in chakra meditation one night because my heart center is so big that I feel like I can't even be within my body. And I talk about that caring and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's something there, but don't ever not share because you think it may be weird because I do that too. And then when I tell people what I'm thinking, they're like, oh my God, that resonates. That's blah, blah, blah. So thank you for sharing the Care Bear.
Yeah. Because for me, when I think of Care Bears, I think of like Care Bear stare. And it's interesting that you say, because the green, like the heart chakra is green, and this was the green one. And I think like Care Bear stare, and they're like all their love and like energy comes out. So I was like, maybe she's the Care Bear, and just like you're doing the Care Bear stare for the planet.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to Care Bear the rest of the time at this yoga retreat. That's cool.
Yeah, do that. Maybe get like a little green Care Bear.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Another little message was structure. I got a message saying that you need structure to set up a schedule for yourself.
That's beyond 100%. Like when you said the word structure, I was like, honestly is my key to my spiritual realm. It's the key to my 100% light. I can feel when I don't have structure because I don't like rules. But the reality is the structure makes me a much more productive light worker. Like I can feel it like coming into me even fuller and being able to do my journaling and my writing. If I write things down, it happens. If I write things I want to manifest down, it happens. If I don't, I just hear everybody else's needs and words and bodies, and I'm just like, I don't know where to land. Yeah. So thank you. And I'm going to put a big capital letter structure right here. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I love doing these because, I mean, we've talked briefly before, but we don't know each other. And when I do them, they're often for strangers, quote unquote strangers. And it's just amazing, these messages that I get from the dream world, and then to share them like this and see that they resonate so much. I'm like, yay.
You know what, Holly? I feel like it probably is the same for you as it is for me. It's almost validation that, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it is landing on people. And it's that beautiful gift that universe gives to us, or whatever you believe in, that it's like, this is your little nugget of love to say, Holly, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Thank you for letting me, sharing this opportunity with me to, heal my stories that don't serve me as well.
We heal by healing others,
Yeah, I'm very much a student on this journey. I'll be the first to admit it. What was your biggest aha or insight from this dream oracle reading?
I probably would say that the consistent reminder that with me to reach my most enlightened state, to be in my truth and path and purpose, that boundary, or like creating the structure and creating time for myself, and committing to reminding myself through even taking whatever they're called, snapshots of comments. It's almost like when you snapshot the comments, or remind yourself that you are loved, people are there. It's the reminders that the hit for me is that we all need reminders and love and all of that. And because I want to give that to people, I need to give it to myself. And to give that to myself, I need the structure. And I also need to revisit comments and the love that has been given to me. And that way I can give it to others. And it just comes full circle. So creating that circle has been huge. There's so many things, I can't even go into it. It'll take all night long. So that's what it's like, this circle of love, and reminding that if I need love, they need love, and we all need love, and we're going to do certain things to create that love and light going, that vibration going.
I love how that was one of your biggest takeaways, was the actions you need to take, because I like to share these with, like, when I do these dream oracles, yes, they're sharing the answers, but one of the bigger pieces is the actions that people need to take, because getting the answers isn't always enough. It's, what are you going to do with them now? How are you going to take action in your life to actually shift and heal and align and awaken into what it is that you want to create? So I'm happy to hear that that really resonated with you, the actions and the full circle.
Well, the reason that is, before we end, is because you're empowering someone else to now take it into their shoes. Now that you've given them some information, now it's up to them. You're empowering them instead of telling them. Now they get to take that power and do something with it. And the action is their action. So that's the gift. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And so before we end, would you like to share? You don't have to by any means, but would you like to share what your book is going to be about?
It has to do with the heart being the guide in our lives. And the more I'm doing this work, the more I realize that when we tap into that heart energy, it heals, it cures, it leads us on paths. When we're doing things with heart and intention and integrity, it just feels better. It feels truer. When we're doing it for other sources, it may either mislead us or make us not feel in tune or in line with our body. And who doesn't want to feel that love within themselves, to guide them? Because we're in such a busy world, but the most simple thing is this heart, is this love. It's who we are. So it has a lot of elements, maybe the biggest element of that, because I truly believe if you just stop and just choose love, compassion, forgiveness, all those things, it just shifts the energy, it raises the vibration, it just changes the whole atmosphere of a room, a car, your day, your connections. So it's going to be about the heart, heart energy.
I love that. I love that. And you're such the perfect person to write that, because from the moment I've connected with you, it's all I feel is like your heart is open and shining outward. So your book is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
Thank you.
And
Thank
so in the
you so
meantime, how do
much.
people connect with you?
Just as you said, you're a student. I am a student of doing what I'm doing, and you can contact me on Instagram at Azures.positive. That's AZURES.positive. Also on Facebook, it's Azure Wolfe, and my email is Azure yoga@gmail.com. When you look at any of my pages, you may see some yoga and diabetes and whatnot, but most people who are feeling into me through the page, they just direct message me, and it goes in a whole different realm. So I'm moving into the realm of talking more about energy work and healing, all those types of things. But don't look at a yoga pose and think that someone is just into yoga or they're just a diabetic. Feel into that person. I'm always answering my messages, and a lot of beautiful magic is happening in the direct message world on any of those platforms. So I'm happy to hear from anyone out there, and even if it's just questions on where to head on even finding somebody else if I'm not for you. So that's all I have to say.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Azure. I'm so happy to have you as my first guest.
Yeah, trust me, I feel honored, and I know that you and I will be talking more in the future.
Well, I loved doing that dream oracle reading with Azure. I just love connecting with her energy. I'm sure you guys felt her beautiful energy as well. And so I'm so happy that you were able to be a part of this and watch how these dream oracle readings work. As I mentioned in the video, I'm so grateful for this process because I learn so much from doing these dream oracle readings as well. And I hope that you've had a glimpse into how I work as a dream oracle, my process as a dream oracle, and how you can benefit from these readings. And I'm sure you've gotten something from watching this reading with Azure as well. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. I would love to hear your feedback. Let me know, do you want me to share more of these live dream oracle readings here on my channel, or what kind of videos do you want me to create for you? I love creating them, so please let me know. I would love your feedback. If you love this, please give me a thumbs up. New videos come every Tuesday, and next week I will be sharing the September new moon video. So it's an energy update and forecast and messages that I receive from Spirit and the universe while lucid dreaming in the dream world. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. In the meantime, please connect with me on Instagram. Send me a DM. I would love to hear from you. On my Instagram, I share dream oracle messages throughout the week in my feed and my stories. So if you like receiving the dream oracle messages, make sure you connect with me on Instagram. That is it for now. Thank you again to Azure Wolfe for joining me today. Thank you to you for watching. I will see you next Tuesday.